Welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. Yes, we are starting 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes late. I don't know. We're starting way, way too late for me to actually be starting this thing, but like, it's just, I've already screwed up so many. Like, today has been, uh, today's been, hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the stream. We do all sorts of fun. Oh, hang on, so my camera's off so the freaking flag doesn't show properly. That's fun. Hang on, let me fix this. Here, you get a little behind the scenes fuckery. There we go. Better. Okay. Oh, yes, and this was a. Oh, I'm wearing my. I had forgotten I had that shirt on. It is a now defunct TTRPG channel that was heavily my inspiration for streaming a lot, and I miss everyone involved. Anyway, and it was a shame that, but people have mental health issues and people want to stop streaming, and it's fine. I just a lot of things. So for those of you new here, hi, welcome. Today is a hot mess for me. So I wasn't sure I was going to. No, I was sure I was going to stream. I just didn't. Like, I was like, all right, I should start this, and then I got distracted, and then I got. Yeah, okay. So finally, so I guess my point is, um, keep track of time better. And today it's the second to last day of July. Last day of the GOT tournament. And I just a lot of things. Um, but I've been trying to write, and I did get the thing in the mail that needs to be gotten in the mail, so that's a start. But yeah, today's just been a day of you know getting things done, but not enough done. Like I had the timing already, and I sat down, and then I got distracted, and then I couldn't stream. Anyway, point being, I usually get distracted when I start streaming, but today was particularly bad for some reason. Anyway, point I guess is I have 0 viewers. Usually I at least have one. Um, pity view of some sort, but I only have one, so I have none. So no one is watching. But hello for if you watch later, I guess. And I feel like it's still important for me to stream even if no one watches because it keeps me in the habit of streaming. I don't get to. I try not to let myself off the hook too easily, because I could at least do a little bit of a stream, And I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the stream because if we're gonna do at least a little bit of stream, we gotta do at least something fun, something short and fun, and because we don't have a lot of time, and um, today is the day. Anyway, my point, I guess, is don't pass out on camera. I'm not gonna pass out. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Just um, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But I think our plan should be to open this up, and we're gonna pull out a. You know what we're gonna do? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a D10,000 roll or a D1000 roll. How I'm gonna do a D1000? You ask that. I'm gonna take two. I'm gonna take a percentile dice, and I'm gonna take another D. We're gonna do a D1000 roll. Now, why are we doing a D1000 roll? You might ask, because that seems kind of odd. We're doing a D1000 roll because I'm going to bring up. Okay, first thing is that there's going to be a D1000 roll. I'm teasing you. How about that? Because the ad break, usually I try to figure out by this point when they do an automatic ad. My goal is by this point A to know what I'm doing, and then to basically is that we have whatever we're doing. Let me see. I should be able to find the Well, we have Ancestry Awakened, but what I was going to do was... No. Alright, well, I have to find it. I have to track this thing down. Yay me tracking of... Okay, so I have to track the file I need down, and then I have to move it to where it's supposed to be, and then... Anyway. Give me 30 seconds to stretch and hydrate, go do the same, and I will be back. And then we can actually do what I'm planning to do. Bob. Do you... Oh, hi. Did you put Bob in the Bob? She Bob, she Bob. So hi. I'm back. Okay. Hello. Welcome back. Cheers. I do have one viewer, so... Yo, Elkintar, you are the one viewer. Welcome on in. I'm looking for a particular thing. I have a D100 ready. Or a D1000 ready. And I'm looking for, um... Okay. Right, so we need to do this. Beautiful. I needed to move a particular, wait, hang on. Why? Okay. Alright. This is the right one, yes? Okay. Ah, yes, no, good. Clean your room. I need to do the same thing. Very much so. I'm not, but I should be. Okay. Alright, yes. So, I don't know how many there are, but, I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, okay, so it's 2 each, right? So 30... Let's do this. 30... Or I could just do a page number. It's 400, right? So 50-50. Why are you so... I've been trying to, like, figure out how best to prop up my computer such that it doesn't um, uh, wiggle so much. Like, obviously, if I got a proper frame for it to create airflow underneath, that would be ideal. I don't, so we're working on it. In the meantime, I have a D100. So I have this basically, or D1000 rather, because this is the D100. I got the percentiles ready, and then I got this other one, which is going to be the hundreds place. So I'm going to roll them. I should get a number between 1 and 1,000. We're just going to do. Then we're going to go to that page. Oh, you can't even see it. I took down the puff. Hang on. Let me show you the majiggy. What's it? Yay. I appreciate you lurking an awful lot. This gives me some. So this is the Tales of Arcana race guide. We haven't done this in a while. For those of you who don't know, who haven't been on the stream before and or, Tales of Arcana in look at it. Yes. So Tales of Arcana. Um, basically it was created by Matt Kniesel, and or Kniesel. He actually put a pronunciation guide in. I could never remember it. Anyway, which is basically every fantasy race or science fiction race under the sun, and it was supposed to be like the ultimate kitchen sink, and it's a little much at some points, honestly. And the lore is half-assed, and it's just so ridiculous. They jam so many things in there, and you're like, why? But it's fascinating because of that, and as such, like I'm not a purist about squishing things together. Blue Box actually had a known hatred for dinosaurs in D&D. His theory was that dinosaurs were cool, but that you wouldn't want them in D&D. That's just he didn't like the Isle of Dread, and he's like, well, like you wouldn't want blueberries in your chocolate cake. I was like, chocolate blueberry cake is delicious. So anyway, I miss him and I hope he's doing all right. Point being, um, we're gonna do a thing. Uh, yeah. Anyway, point being, we have this fun little thing we're doing, and uh, there's a lot of nonsense here. So we're just gonna, because I don't know what any of these are exactly, or I do remember, I think we've gone through most of them at some point or another. We've just gone through. I used to do it every Sunday just for funsies because it was such an intensive thing. So I've gotten back into it. So what we're gonna do, and I've run a few one shots, or actually I read a whole campaign on that's available on what's the one? Um, Tales All on the Table RPG. That's the one. I will. Uh, let me do this on AOTT. Um, apparently, which apparently is not working. Okay, so it's just the AOTT one is not working. Guess the Streamlabs bot, that the Cloud bot, that was the one. No. All on the table was um I guess I don't have it set up as automatic, but it is a um it was a let's see if this works. No. Okay. Let's try this again. Sorry, I know we're getting wait. There we go. That's the second one. So anyway, that is the what's it. Anyway, I did a stream on that channel. Basically, we did Saturdays. So it was every. I think it was every. We got one. Each got one Saturday a month. There were 4 streams that each got a Saturday a month. I was in a player in one of them, and I GM'd the other, and I DM'd one and was a player in the other, and the other 2 were just other random ones. And if I recall correctly, it was a lot of fun, actually, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it. But and I still am technically affiliated with All on the Table. It's just a lot smaller now, and I'm kind of like one of their secondary backup in case they need, um, you know, I'm one of their secondary backups. They're still really cool, and there's no bad blood between us. What was I doing? Oh yes, so I basically did all the cool stuff, ran a bunch of unshots for them, and we had a good time of it. Oh right, so we used some of these. We used Arcana as a baseline for that, and they were doing some awesome stuff with that. And it's sorry, I felt like I. You ever just kind of remember, oh hey, I should be practicing my voice and like and doing better with the way I speak, which I think is not a bad thing. Any case, I'm trying to do better about that. Okay, I'm going to roll the dice, and it is going to be awesome sauce, and we're going to get. Well, that's a 0 in the hundreds place, so that's 39. I don't even think. I think that might be one of the A's. Let's see what we get. 39. That is the other one over. This one, 39, is. Angel. Okay. Oh, Angel. There's a lot about the angels. We can have some fun with this. Um, Ye. Their grace and beauty masks their arrogance and cruelty. While many angels would give their immortal lives to break mortals, those who rule the heavens are as callous as a man. Dante, the Ringwalker. Yeah, they jammed everything, including freaking religion. Sort of. It's all gods are real except there's one big god, except they're only in charge of this one dimension, and you can go to other dimensions too. So it kind of there's a lot. We've spent a lot of time on the cosmology here, and I want to write something that goes with this because I'm supposed to be getting words in. Um, Angels are the celestial beings of heaven, the afterlife realm, designated for the souls of the righteous and pure. They appear as humans with wings and golden halos floating over their heads. While the archangels reside in heaven, some angels remain on the mortal plane and strive to uphold heavenly virtues and protect worlds from sin. You can play as an angel. That's the point of the game is that you or at this source book is that you could play as an angel. Though they appear human in size and shape, angels seem larger than life for mortals who meet them. They can present any hair color or skin tone found in humans and wear religious attire associated with angel worshipping denominations. Angels are known for their caring and compassionate outlook, allegedly. Um, Male. Okay. I Huh. Okay. Um. Miguel Ray Godon Harkness. In fairness, angels that often have that kind of ethereal, weirdly feminine, even among male angels vibe. So I guess that works. Um, they wish to help others when able, often putting themselves in harm's way to protect mortal life. Unfortunately, some angels have become resentful of their assignment and are arrogant and cruel, seeing mortals as lesser beings. They can be severe in carrying out justice. Since the dawn of time, angels have served the Eternals. The most powerful were the archangels, who were entrusted with near godlike power. After the god wars, where the angels were as destructive as the armies of the pantheons, angels were also decreed to remain in heaven. Only archangel to remain on the mortal plane was Sarah, who used her power to create aerial basilica cities across Genesis and assigned newly established angel choirs to protect their areas of the planet. New angels can be created when a choir sings them into existence, though they can't fly until a heaven bell is rung in their honor. Each basilica was hidden within its own haven, for angels to interfere with mortals only as a last resort. Sarah has not been seen for quite some time. Shush. Oh, right. I should probably. I don't think I can actually. Anyone's actually in chat, but I probably should come to a place where I can see chat, or at least figure out a system wherein I can see chat, at least, and pop this down a little bit. A little bit. That's not working. Is that good? Sorry. This will work. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah. That way I can see chat as brief, at least partially, so I can at least tell when people are in chat. There we go. Yes, so she was, yeah, alright. In her absence, some basilicas have broken their vows and conquered mortal regions. Yeah, angels devoted to the archangels, though some believe they and the Eternals were created by a being known as the All-Father. These angels also believe in ultra heaven, though thought to be where righteous angels go when they die. The angels' religion worships the archangels as gods. It is spread across Arcana and has several denominations. The most powerful is the Catechist Church, whose leader claims direct communication with the archangels. So angel traits is increase your charisma score by 2. Start as adults and don't age. Lawful good and extreme, they follow precepts and protect the world and other creatures from evil, and do so fearlessly without remorse. Being an embodiment of good, they can expect too much from others to lack such certainty. Rarity is legendary. Angels are meant to stay out of mortal affairs and rarely enter the world. Angels are human-like in size, often perfectly proportioned. Size is medium. Base walking speed 30 feet. Okay. You know the light and spare the dying cantrips. When you attain 3rd level, you can cast Bless as a 1st level spell. Once you cast Bless, you can do so only after you finish a short or long rest. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for these spells, and you need no material components for them. Celestial Resistance. You have resistance to necrotic damage, poison damage, radiant damage. Also, you can add your proficiency bonus to saving throws against such damage and being poisoned. If you have proficiency in such check or saving throw, your proficiency bonus is doubled. You are humanoid, but you are considered celestial whenever it would be detrimental to you, which is always helpful. Weak wings. You have wings, but you aren't yet strong enough to grant you full flight, provided you have space double what you require. So if you have 10 feet, so yeah, you have to have, you can flap your wings and to jump as if you had a 10-foot running start. If you do so and have a 10-foot start, you double your distance you jump. When you fall, provided you have double your space to open them, you can use your wings to slow your fall to 60 feet per round, taking no damage from falling. So you can avoid taking fall damage because you are gliding. Okay. Excellent. Yep, alright. Vindaba. That's there. Sorry, just talking smooth. It's 2:36 and I haven't even done. Alright, but, let's see. Every 10 feet you fall, you can move 10 feet horizontally. Each foot you move horizontally this way counts as 1 foot of movement. So you can kind of direct your glide. Improved wings, strong wings feet. So you find A, which means you can actually gain flying speed if you're willing to take feet to buff your wings up. Speak, read, and write Common and Celestial, and Skyborn is a common secondary language. You resemble an angel but have no oh, these are variants. And then you got variants. A Valkyrie. You resemble an angel but have no halo. Valkyries tend to be female but can be male. You lack angelic magic. But you have proficiency in the athletic skill, one simple or martial weapon, and light armor and shield. You also speak, read, and write glacial. Oh, have no halo. You have wings. Okay. Seen by Vikingar who fall in battle and are often lawful good. The interesting thing about that is, yeah, archangels. I was gonna say about Valkyrie. There was once a really, really good short story, in, I think, the eighth, not the other, the Duck Print Press anthology, involving a trans Valkyrie. He had transitioned and then basically could no longer be a Valkyrie, because he transitioned and it sucked. But he was doing some sort of weird undead thing and fell in love with the other guy involved in it, and it was a whole thing. Okay. Valkynar is an undead Valkyrie with the limitations described in that variant, and your ability increase to charisma is only 1. Starting at 5th level once per day, you can cast Animate Dead as a 3rd level spell without material components. Your use of the spell allows you to have only one animated corpse active at a time. If you cast a spell on another target, any previous target cease to be animated. You have a living corpse traits like zombie species in this book. You can also read and write Shadow Tongue. Falconers are legendary and often neutral evil. So you could be an angel, a Valkyrie, or an undead Valkyrie equivalent thing, which is kind of cool. That's the thing, is some of these side species have like really cool lore and then are just like thrown in as an afterthought, which I feel like is not which is a thing. So you know what we're gonna do, because that was interesting for sure. I have a scheme, right? It's 240, so we got, and considering we got started late and ended up being a slow start to the stream, kinda, I got a plan. I have a plan, and we are gonna do this, and it's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna use. We're gonna get a LibreOffice. We're gonna do this LibreOffice. I'll post it into For the Words in a bit, but we're gonna start it as LibreOffice, I think. All right. Oh, pre-roll. Okay, so pre-rolls are on. Let me open up a Word document for LibreOffice. We're gonna do a thing. It's gonna be awesome. Let me do that. So Libre. Yes. Let me go new. We're gonna start on Libre. I'm gonna start with LibreOffice just to make it easier to show and just. Okay. So we're gonna do a LibreOffice. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll the dice again. So. Valkyrie. Okay. So we're doing that. We are creating a thing. Um, there's this. I'm counting the words. We're doing For the Word. Basically, I'm going to count this forgot words, just to get some more, because we're running low on those. Um, and, but, okay, hang on. No, alright, alright, there we go. That should put the whole thing, and then, okay, hang on, this is how we do. So we do that, and then we, liberations. No, 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 I am Times New Roman boy. I am a Times New Roman man, that's what I am. I am Times New Roman man. We do Times New Roman, we do 16, so you can actually see it. Alright. Sorry, I am a Times New Roman man. Which is sort of like being a Harvard man. Oh, yeah, I'm a Times New Roman man. And here's to that. Um, um, Are they humans? I mean, they don't have to be humans. I feel like they kind of. It was an interesting thing in that they made humans the default, and then they just kind of went with it. Like, they have all these hundreds of other races that did things, and then they, humans, there's like literally hundreds of others. And they do all sorts of stuff, and they have all sorts of interesting, and some of them are just regular guys, And I don't think, like, some of them have specific requirements that are very niche. Some of them are just guys, and you could think, Larry, why are there so many humans versus all these others? Like, you built this world full of cool stuff, and then you're like, well, why would human? I'm not saying you couldn't have humans, but I feel like they put too much emphasis on humans. Like, a lot of them are like, well, these are humans who have this specific thing happen. Like, well, couldn't it happen to elves or dwarves or any of the other more mundane races? Like, I feel like they've not explored that adequately, and it bugs me. Like, freaking just like even Pathfinder, it's like they admitted that elves and dwarves and halflings could throw tieflings. It's like, yeah, it's a possible. Anyway, all right, let me roll because and I guess being human the default makes sense when you consider that it was written in a by a human author in a to be read by other humans, and so kind of creating a world in which humans um, are still the majority, even though they coexist with all of them, is a choice. It makes sense in that context, but it's like it just shows the fundamental. I don't know. Hang on. Let me roll another one. We're not doing humans. We're not doing humans. We're gonna do another. Yeah. Other species have gods too. Let's do it. 930, which we'll have to re-roll because it's not in the book. 800. Um, 170. There we go. That's in here. 170. Let's do it. It took a few rolls, but we're getting 170. I could have. I realized I could have done like a D6 for the. If I'd done a D4 for the 100s place, it would have made so much more sense. But so there's angels. Now, let's go back to the table of contents. That's why I don't like that when they do this way, because it doesn't. 170 is Feroc. Yes, this is perfect. All right, let's do it. Feroc. Crafty felines. This feline race would have conquered the Shadowx Desert if they weren't so prone to nap in the sunwarm sand. Feroc race catfolk generally considered to be cruel and hedonistic. In fact, most are amicable if generally lazy, ferociously lash out at others only when they and their allies are threatened. Once the Feroc ruled powerful dynasties across Arcana, but today most live in small traveling caravans that focus on entertainment and trade. Yes. See, now this is where it's like the Khajiit. So so that borrows heavily from the Khajiit, which in turn was that they'd borrowed from the Roma people, who then were they'd borrowed. So the Khajiit were sort of borrowed, at least historic culturally, from the Roma, and then were which were in what's I know the frickin' what's the one? There is a Elder Scrolls, the Elder Scrolls universe. So I feel like that. Oh, right, I have to show you this. So I feel like right. So yeah. So Feroc. This is what we rolled up on our second one. So we've got the angels and we got the Feroc, right? But here's the thing. So the intermittent trade is like that. That's just heavily inspired by the Khajiit. Which, granted, all of these are heavily inspired by other things in the books. But I think this specifically is interesting because that was heavily inspired by the Rumble, but then they just skinned it as Tabaxi. But then, which was D&D. You can trace the the histological, the mimetic roots of stuff, which is interesting and fascinating, and there's nothing wrong with borrowing bits and pieces. In fact, all of the best work borrows stuff. You look at Shakespeare, and then you can trace it back to, like, the entire Midsummer Night's Dream was because everyone complained that Romeo and Juliet was just ripping off Pyramus and Thisbe, so he just did a play about people doing a play of Pyramus and Thisbe because just to mess with people. But I think, I think yes, that is everything traces its role back farther and farther. But I think that it's just interesting to see this particular nugget is very specifically tied to that in a way that it's just interesting, that it took. I wonder if this is the only feline race. I guess you can't search it by that, but the fact that it's specifically tied, that particular nugget is very specifically tied to Khajiit, which were sort of combining two disparate ideas to create a unique fusion of something that the Elder Scrolls people did. I'm sure. They might not have been the first to do it. They might have borrowed from other works as well. But I think, but they were like, hey, let's take this idea of the fantasy idea of the Roma people, which has been kind of metabolized into fantasy heavily, and then we'll reskin it as Tabaxi, which are also from D&D, and we're like, we'll combine these two. I'm pretty sure they did. Anyway, I think it's interesting. Also, if I got the franchise Khajiit is wrong from, I'm sorry. It I all my Elder Scrolls knowledge is secondhand, and which I find fascinating. But so I've learned a lot of the lore through osmosis, which means that I may be wrong about where the Khajiit came from. Anyway, point being, though Ferik are around the same size and weight as humans, they can be significantly shorter depending on the breed. Similarly, Ferik can have different characteristics depending on the type of cat they resemble, such as coloration patterns of fur, the shape of their ears. Like cats, not all Ferik adhere to the specific breed, meaning that an individual might have unique appearance. Other humanoid cat races exist in Arcana but have different cultures. Ooh, there are multiple humanoid cat. Ooh, huh. Interesting. There are multiple. Similar to Canid, Ferik can be played using tropes associated with household cats, though they can also have human personalities and emotions. However, they do cough up furballs. These are distracted, cruel, hate water, and so on. Ancient dynasties. Ferik are often mistaken for children of the Enid goddess Bast. Historians believe this association is what followed Ferik to dominate the leadership of ancient Khazera. Interesting. It is unclear whether they claimed to be deities or were in fact working at the command of Bast. Many Ferik who ruled Khazera's city-states were apathetic, neither cruel nor attentive, so it's unsurprising that their reign ended long ago. Ooh, pretty girl. Okay. Today, Ferik can be found across the Empire working all sorts of professions. They are also famed merchants traveling from the dragon-plagued Renegar province to the Middle Arc to Athunut, the Empire province that encompasses part of ancient Khazera. Ferik cultural practices borrow from other races that they live among. So many worship human deities, for example, or can worship angels. We're going to have Feriks that worship angels. We're going to do this because I'm like, yes. Why not? I've been targeted by mouse and rat and speciesists who claim Ferik are natural killers, which is untrue. The most animal folk were created when beasts were exposed to goo or divine action. Ferik are from another planet and came to Genesis via pyramid spaceships long ago. Some French historians claim that the region Ferik originally controlled was called Prussia. Okay. Yeah. Pretty cat girl. Okay. The Sharks is the largest desert on Arcana and is one of the largest contiguous biomes on the continent. Oh yeah. Arcana is a single continent on the planet Genesis, by the way, in case you guys were unfamiliar with the lore. It's just, alright. Um, including, stretched across most of the Empire's southern border and is home to several modern societies, including the Arch Sphinxes of Im and the mechanical spider cities of the Arachnean League. The Dominion wishes to establish military bases here. Um, so dexterity by 2, charisma by 1. As an adult at age 6, you live to see their 6th decade. Live fast, die young. Most folk Ferric are selfish and vain, and they can easily provoke to emotional extremes. However, they are curious and capable of great gentleness. Although Ferric are often chaotic, they are rarely evil. Ferric are an unusual sight. Varying size as humans do, size is medium. Base walking speed 30 feet. You can see in dim light within 60 feet of you, so bright light and darkness within the same range as for dim light. Absent even dim light. Vision is monochromatic. Proficiency in 2 kills of your choice from athletics, perception, and stealth. So you're good at 2 of them. Provoked attack. If you decide to attack a creature that is aware of you but has no reason to expect your attack, you can attempt a charisma deception check. A deception check against a DC equal to that creature's insight modifier plus 10. So they're passive insight. If you succeed, the creature is surprised. Natural weapon. You have natural weapons that are cave claws, 1d3 piercing damage, bite, or slashing damage claws. Okay, so you can either do bite or claws. Your natural weapons have light and finesse properties, and you have proficiency with them. So you can either do biting or clawing. Speak, read, and write common in either Sanskrit or Wildkin. You can choose to play as variant feline species with the following changes. Bast, you are a human with a feline head. Bast can live thousands of years. You have heritage celestial trait found in other species in this book. You also speed, read, and write celestial. Bast are legendary and often chaotic neutral. So you can actually be a child of Bast. Sphinx. You're a winged cat-like humanoid. Cats with wings. Cats with wings are cool. Can live thousands of years. Dexterity and charisma scores increase by 1, and you gain weak wings, racial trait, and lose the unprovoked attack trait. You can speak, read, and write Skyborn. Sphinxes are often neutral. We're gonna try something. Alright, we're getting distracted, but okay. Let's see. It's gonna take a while to search, but basically, um, um, we're definitely going with a Ferric here. Um, just the breadth of lore this book encompasses is staggering. Um, okay. Laura. Oh. Exact matches. Caddy. What is even? Cation. Okay. A failed experiments. Cation. Cation. Scarf. Okay. Skinwalker. Oh, Planeswalker works. Okay. Warkeeper, but is this even Vashnai? Okay. Vroom Vroom's justification. Okay. Personification. Mother Nature. Personification. Okay. Modification. Identification. Disclaimer. Classification. Oh yeah, the animate classification. Personification. Okay, so they have the Furbolgs. I forgot about those guys, who are actually very clever. Okay. Exact matches 75. Wild Lords. Okay, so cat, ferric. Okay, so they say there are other cat species, but there's only 3 that actually do. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing with this? Plant people. Um, Stream plant folk deep in jungle and forest. Okay. The fictional, that's a whole. Okay, ferric. Like, I. Freaking hell. Okay, and that's assuming they searched the whole thing, which I don't even know if it could search. Given. No, it did. Because applications were at the end, so. They say there are other feline species, but, like. There aren't. And these guys are both in that vein of. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's do it. So I guess our plan was. Clouder. You know what? Clouder. Sarok. Um. 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 There are definitely other feline species. I just have to find them. Let me try something. Oh, the wild lords. Okay. The wild lords. Yes. Shaping animal spirits worshipped as gods. Fat Tony is a cat. Okay. Shere Khan is a tiger. What other kinds of wild cats are there? Mm-hmm. Gargoyles. You have animal heads, such as rams or panthers. Not these guys, though. Powerful winged rays that live on rooftops buildings, usually those of the significance. Okay. Uh, no. Griffin. Okay, so they have lion. That's griffins. Grigori. Elder Navigator. Aslam the lion. Okay. Angels grow their wings and choose to leave heaven so they could walk the mortal plane. Um, right. Manticores. They got manticores. Manticore, plural. Humanoid lions. Okay, so you got manticore. Manticore, manticore. Leo! Oh, here we go. Chimera, a winged two-headed humanoid creature with a snake tail. Each head is that of an animal, but one herbivore and the other carnivore, typical animals, for example, lion and a lamb, or a wolf and a goat. Constitution, strength, ability score, increased by 1. Dark vision. Two heads at odds trait from the ogre race. Speak, read, and write wildkin. Chimera, rare and often neutral evil. Leo, you're humanoid lions. They have them. Like, you see, this is the thing. You have these, like, oh, hey, here's this random, like, okay, I guess the lions don't even get their own, like, they get stuck in a variant. Like, even D&D does. Anyway. And you don't get wings. You can use only fangs and claws. And because you have basic lion tail and not a stinger tail. Uh, Uncommon, alpha neutral, good. Um, Lion. Okay. Touty. Being of pure greed often uses antagonists and moralities, but despite the problems of our stories, there's no evidence to suggest anything more than a fantasy. Monstrous beings driven by greed and war seek to bend the world to their will and cause suffering for sport. Known for their greed, absent from the mortal plane, only just returning. Um, Enslaving lion dogs and long dragons. Okay, lion dogs are a thing. Okay, so we could have lion people. That's our option for other cat races, which are on Mantic. Okay, yeah, Griffin, Manticore. Um, yeah, so you can be a lion folk. You could Leo. You could just be a lion. Lion folk. You also have the Ferrex. I'm gonna stick with Ferrex because that's what we rolled, but I think it's worth noting. Anyway, we're gonna go back to here. Um, oh, there are other cat people. Like, does not mention any of the cat. Like, anyway, I just think there's so much lore that they lose stuff between the cracks and have they don't have a lot of things or they kind of roll stuff in with other things that anyway, because they pick out the most interesting ones and then secondary ones get chunked. Okay, so Theric. Okay, Theric. Um, are uh cat creatures. Okay. Um. Yes. Who had been living for a clouder of Theric, who had been living for five. Um. Okay. So there's that. Um. So there's that. Um. Silica. Hang on. Okay. Um. Okay. So there's the Guardian who are angels to give up their wings, and then there are angels who do not have their wings because they've been sung into existence but haven't gotten them yet. Okay. I feel like there's an important distinction, and I don't know how you would make that distinction. Stranded. All right. I think. Um. Xerxes. Yes. All right. This is interesting. This is an interesting. We're gonna play with this dynamic. Um. Ooh, we can have some fun with this. Uh, I guess we only got this far, but still, I am. I'm crashing, and I have to go to work, and I can't do much else. So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna Oh wait, I wanted to show you. That's what I wanted to do. I got a paragraph done about, and that is what we got. But still, I think we had fun. I appreciate hanging out with you guys. And we can claim 160 words. If you are writing, this is your chance to do that. Yeah. Now is your chance to. Yay! All right, bring out your words. If you're writing for this, now is your chance to put your words to thing and all of that. Thank you for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to hydrate. And that's about it. Okay. I'm gonna raid somebody, and then I'm gonna go pass out for a little bit. Um, we're gonna raid a. I guess we're gonna raid Sable. Yeah, we're gonna raid Sable. Um, yeah, we're raiding Sable. Let's go. All right, everyone. Yay, us.